Man.
Brian? Hey, Marty.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you again, man. I became aware of voltage cycles maybe about 7 years ago, 2010, 2011. And I'll tell you, man, your bike inspired me to sell my motorcycle and start building e-bikes. So yeah, tell us more about yourself and just what you're trying to accomplish here with Small Planet e-bikes.
The primary goal is to get folks to consider bicycles as transportation, not just sport and rec.
Right.
So we have an emphasis on e-bikes, from cargo to commuter to casual city-style bikes. You know, we have the mountain bikes and some of the higher end models available as well, but primary focus is to get people to look at cycling as a viable form of transportation to replace their car, motorcycle, or scooter. I've been in the bike world for most of my life. One of my first jobs was working at a bike shop. Rode professionally, old washed up BMX stunt rider from back in the 80s, early 90s. Segued after being in broadcasting for almost 20 years back into the cycling industry almost by chance. I was in Honolulu and discovered e-bikes back in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved them. It was a whole new thinking of what a bicycle could be.
Yeah, things have come a long way.
And my whole thing was trying to create something that had a little bit of individuality and style, something that you'd actually be proud to throw a leg over. That was my goal. And some friends of mine who owned a Harley-Davidson Triumph motorcycle rental shop invited me to basically start renting bikes out of their shop and gave me the project of trying to make some board tracker style bikes that we could rent at the shop. And that's kind of what started it all off. This is in summer of 2009, 2010, and I was one of the first people to ever really do a custom electric bike that hid all the electronics, and I think that's what really set us apart. Nothing that I did was really revolutionary in terms of electronics or kits or componentry. It was just the way in which I packaged it.
Yeah.
And I kind of packaged it in a fun, cool way that a lot of people appreciated and found kind of a worldwide audience. Here in the US, we're kind of behind the times a bit in terms of accepting innovation and external innovations, and we hadn't accepted the category as a whole. And I think my brother and I had only made maybe 27 or 30 bikes that we sold as electric assist in the US. So it was kind of a little ahead of the wave, if you will. The beauty of it though today, fast forward almost 10 years, yourself, handful of other custom builders out there that are making kits in their own regional markets, and the category is really starting to catch on.
It's blowing up.
It's finally starting to find acceptance with a rider base. I really do feel that the transportation side of this is what's going to solidify the category, not so much the sport and rec.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
So we got Siclovia coming up.
We do have Siclovia.
That today.
That's today, yes sir. So we decided to, Marty was gracious enough to let us use this as home base to start our Siclovia ride, and really just wanted to highlight what you're trying to do here with Small Planet e-bikes and just what you provide to the community, you know. And that's, I think, when you're in the DIY world, you want to feel like you're giving something back, but also just that you're making e-biking acceptable to cyclists, and that you're trying to bridge that gap between recreation and transportation.
Sure. I mean, the joy of having Small Planet e-bikes open now is having people come into the shop and they walk, oh, it's just e-bikes.
Right.
And the first thing I ask, have you ever thrown a leg over one? Have you ever ridden one? And when they tell me no, humor me. Throw a leg over, go down the street, ride it, and every single time, the best part about it is an ear-to-ear grin.
That's right, the EV grin.
The EV grin. And that conversion, that discovery experience, that empowerment, if you will, of discovering something that you never knew existed 20 minutes earlier.
That's right.
And walking out the door completely in awe of what a bicycle could be.
That's what
this is all about for me.
You show them the light. We're really a big fan of what you're doing here.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your support as well, and just what you're trying to do for the community and for San Antonio to get their butts on some saddles and just realize that this is a really game-changing way to get around the city.
Agreed.
So thank you so much, Mike, for having us today.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We don't have the mic on.
Oh, it does have a mic still.
Does it have a mic?
Yep.
I see. You're gonna carry him like a fresh catch.
Military style.
There you go.
That's what's up. What happened, Brian?
We're waiting for Ram. I went the wrong way. My bad.
we get an interview with you guys at Mission Conception?
What?
Can we get an interview with you guys at Conception?
I don't know. I'm just following them. I guess. I mean, that's probably where they're going to end up.
This is another fellow builder, Mark Fukuda. Okay. He's a legend as well. We gotta get an interview with you, man.
All right. Yeah.
We're doing a video for Siclovia.
Oh, perfect.
So we got Marty from Vintage Cycle. I mean, from Voltage Electric, Small Planet, and now we're gonna get Bike SA as well.
I built this morning.
Dude, it looks badass. Those tires are insane.
Yeah, I had to go big. It was the first time.
Yeah, the throw on that was just too long though. I could never see put a chain on that thing, you know, for the throw of your chain.
Oh, I have a chain for it. I just didn't have time this morning.
You would need like a tensioner or something like that.
I have one.
You do?
I extended it.
What are those 5s? What's the size on those tires, man? Those
They're
things are
4.5.
Those things are humongous.
I know. All right, I'll see you guys down there.
You want to race? You want to race?
You can't handle them.
Oh, let's see. Mark, thank you so much for agreeing to meet with us here. So, fellow e-bike builder, enthusiast, awesome badass right here, Mark
Fukuda.
Fukuda, because I say it wrong every time. Mark, please tell us a little bit about yourself and about your story.
Well, I'm originally from the West Coast. I grew up in San Francisco, and then I joined the military. Spent most of my life in Hawaii. Doing electronics for the Navy. And then I started teaching the neighborhood kids how to build bikes. We have our own little neighborhood co-op.
That's right.
I give away bikes to disabled veterans.
That's awesome.
If they're in need. And some disabled veterans can afford it, so we get together and I help them build electric bikes. So instead of jumping on a scooter.
Yeah. And get some exercise too if they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On all their bikes, I put power assist on them.
Yeah, power assist.
And it enables them to get exercise. But most of all, I build these things to be a way to socialize.
Yeah.
I want people to socialize. But that's why I do it. I mean, San Antonio is a wonderful place.
So quickly, Mark, just tell us a little bit about how you got into e-bikes. Like, what brought you into e-bikes?
I was looking for a bike.
Yeah.
People just, selling or giving away bikes so I could build bikes for my veterans. And then, and I see this Lee Iacocca bike. Remember the original coined e-bike?
Yes.
It kind of faded away, but I got that thing and I got to run and I really enjoyed it, but it did like 15 miles an hour and I wasn't feeling it. I got a hold some cats in California at Luna and had a late night in-depth conversation with one of the gentlemen that works inside the shop. And I walked away from that conversation with a whole new enlightenment for electric bikes. And then I just started getting creative. The artistic part of me came out. I can't make a normal bike.
All right, well, you know what, Mark? Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, thanks for
I'm glad we ran into you.
Information out, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 4 years.
The wild dogs over there?
Yeah.
Being a little wild?
Well, we just when people go to bed.
It's by Mark from Bronko Bikes. We're here out at Siclovia, and we're in front of the beautiful Mission Conception. And if you've never been to San Antonio, you need to come visit the historic missions. They're on a World Heritage Site. We're here with Janelle from Bike SA, and we're going to find out more about what Bike SA is all about and what they're trying to accomplish here in San Antonio.
Yeah, so Bike San Antonio is a new nonprofit, and we started last September, and we're working to get safer bike infrastructure in San Antonio. There was recently a study by People for Bikes, and they found that San Antonio is ranked 54th most dangerous out of 485 cities that they studied.
Wow.
And so we're trying to get that up to safer bike infrastructure so people from 8 to 80 years old feel safe and comfortable biking.
I've been here in San Antonio for the better part of 4 years, and I live up on 410 Broadway, so no bike lanes, and it's about an 8.5 mile commute for me to get downtown. And honestly, I wouldn't feel safe doing it without an electric bike assist, and that's why I've been doing Bronko Bikes, is to get people aware that how electric bikes can enable them to do things they wouldn't think possible by their own physicality alone. And I know that recently you guys got the city to agree to do sweeps of heavy corridors.
Yeah, we did a campaign, and it included looking at the streets that are most heavily biked on, and the city agreed to start sweeping at least once a month the top 7 bike streets. And right now it's about 4 times a year that they sweep those streets. So that would be a big difference.
Basically just trying to get debris, metal, you name it. You know, it's a very industrial city, so you do have a lot of big trucks out here. You've got a lot of construction going on. What about bike lanes? I know that's probably on your to-do list. Can you tell us more about bike lanes for major corridors?
So right now they're working on improving Fredericksburg, St. Mary's, and Broadway. There are bond monies for those streets, and so there's a potential for bike lanes on all of those streets, but it's just a potential, and so we need the support of people to, you can go to our website, bikesanantonio.org, and there's a link there where you can send a letter to your representatives, so it will help show that a lot of people actually want this, and we actually want protected bike lanes on Broadway.
This is fantastic. By the way, if you folks don't know this, her earrings are made out of recycled bike chains. I love that kind of stuff.
And tubes.
And tubes. Oh, it's the tubes as well. Okay, well that just seals the deal for me. Well, Janelle, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what Bike SA is trying to do for San Antonio and cyclists. And if you want to plug meetings, or do you guys have like a general meeting that you guys do?
Yeah, about once a month we have general meetings, and you can go to our Facebook page, Bike San Antonio.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming here on the ride, and thank you so much, Janelle, for what you guys are doing for the city. And there it is. Okay. All right, thumbs up.